Welcome back to Jungle Gap, guys. Today we're doing a review. Main topic being dealing with the cards you've been dealt and playing from behind. So we're going to be discussing all the fundamentals and the mindset from this game. This was a really good example. As you guys can see, I don't know if you've ever found yourself in a similar situation that I am in this game, but it's not looking good at all. And so we're going to be talking about, what kind of moves you can make when it feels like you simply can't do anything. I'm not trying to use this example to, flex or anything. I lose these games all the time. Trust me. The goal for this is to try and win, 5 of the 10 of these games where usually we would lose 10 out of 10. What's up, everyone? Just quickly wanted to talk to you guys about the Jungle Academy. Now, I don't want to, try and sell you guys on something that I don't truly believe is insane, but this program is probably one of the best resources that I've ever seen in terms of if you are serious about your improvement, if you're serious about climbing, then this is probably the way that I would go if I was first, trying to improve at a rapid rate. And I think the main selling point of this program is the daily group jungle coaching sessions. We have all these amazing jungle coaches, all challenger players, all have insane knowledge where you'll have your review, you'll have your VOD reviewed. And if you're looking to catch me, I'm on Friday and Sunday at 11 a.m. AEST. That is for Americans, that'll be the day behind, since you guys are behind us here in Australia. And yeah, just an insane resource. You have also the coaching VOD library. So if you want to, look up a specific matchup, you have the community asking questions, bunch of information just being shared. So I hope to see you guys all in the Jungle Academy. All right, so jumping straight into it, as you can even just see from the timeline. Okay, so a major thing that I'm going to be talking about in this game is keeping your composure, right? Waiting for the opportune time to make your move, to make your play. And this is all about patience. This is all about discipline. No one has mastered this. But if you want to win these types of games, this is something that you need to be really good at. You need to try and not win too hard. You need to not overforce anything. You need to understand that the enemies are also going to make mistakes, right? And as you can see, this draft is absolutely an abomination, right? Our team comp is like one of the worst things I've ever seen. And their team comp looks like it just came straight from like T1, right? It came from a World's Finals. They have the most insane draft I think I've ever seen. And so, when you are already put on this, back foot in draft, you're going to have limited options. You're going to feel like, your team is going to flame you. Even this game, my Jinx literally typed 0 KP jungle or something like that. And then my Echo started talking about like my build. I don't know why I had chat on. I muted swiftly afterwards. So yeah, again, also not being affected by your teammates in these kinds of games, really important. And so, this is just a standard game where, talking about fundamentals, I'm thinking, okay, where's most likely I can get a kill? I'm thinking I'm going to path towards top lane. I'm going to play for some grobs. The Soraka lane doesn't really provide me anything, so I'm just going to path away from it. I'm just going to path the top, see what we can do on top lane, right? So, and yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have my POV of this game, so we're going to have to use the league replay. So yeah, just pathing to top. Simply, my Yasuo was able to get a ward here, so we know that Jarvan's also pathing to top side, which is great. We got some information. We see him here now. And so pretty standard stuff. And so, we are going to play pretty quickly here. I am still going to go through all my rounds because, yeah, the game starts to get very one-sided, as you can see from the scoreboard. And so in this situation, already, right, from the very start, I mean, I do have priority bot. So, I could have had in my game plan, okay, I want to path the bot, play to protect my Jinx. Jinx is usually a lane that pushes. But I opted in to try and killing this cannon instead. And when you are in this situation, if you're playing jungle, and enemy mid can move and also enemy cannon can move, a really good idea is just to gank the guy that's trying to get priority, right? And let Jarvan get the crab. So this is what I've opted for, because if I try and go and contest the crab against the Jarvan, of course, cannon will move first, Karma will move first. Their champions are so much more giga OP early game. And so we go for the gank instead, right? We'll just play it out. Have to flash his EQ. Get nothing. Okay, so round 1, not great. Right, we got cannon flash, but I also traded my flash. So cannon flash, not bad, right? That's something that we can play around for the next round. So next round begins. I have tempo on Jarvan, so I go for the bot scuttle. So here we go, we get the bot scuttle. Jarvan kills my Echo here. right? Simply clearing up again, not trying to overforce anything, not trying to look for plays where there are none. And yeah, don't care about your ADC saying 0 KP jungle because this ADC or your laners have no idea about anything. So it doesn't matter. And so this is the first kind of situation as we pause here, right? The first situation where, you know, I have a Soraka and the enemy has a Rel, right? So as soon as this happens, right, I literally just leave this guy in the dirt. Like, I just leave him. I'm like, I'm out of here. But the thing is that something that you can do in these situations is that you can try and make the best of a bad situation. So here, because they're using this time mid, right, I can choose to just take one and then leave. All right, so just a small little win, right? Accept the cards you've been dealt. Accept that this is gone. It is what it is, right? And keep pushing on. Because, you know, it may take 20 minutes for the enemy to make to a situation where you can impact. But that's what you're waiting for. That's the reality of your situation, okay? So yeah, this isn't really about, right, when you play from behind, this is nothing to do with I'm playing defensive, I'm playing, you know, reserved. It just so happens to be that, you know, being or playing reserved happens when you have no options, right? And so be very clear to see the difference between not having options and playing reserved. You don't want to play reserved as default, right? You just don't want to look for plays simply that are not there, right? So again, okay, so my bot lane dies. I quickly go in here and try and get the Scuttle Crab. Same thing again. I'm trying to like cheat some tempo, get a bit unlucky. He had smite, I didn't. And so this is a pretty interesting situation, right? When you play from behind, you got to see these little moments, right? You have to see these moments, you know, where the Caitlyn here, little bits of information like this. We also know that Jarvan's going to clear upwards. And my bot lane actually has tempo here. And my mid has push. So you got to see these little moments where Caitlyn has to base. This opens up an opportunity, right? An opportunity to take Dragon. And Dragon, of course, this game is insane for me. You know, I don't really think that we outscale per se, right? But usually taking Dragons gives you a chance to let the game play out longer because it takes now the enemy more time to get to like a Dragon Soul, for example. And of course, you know, late game for us is, you know, it is pretty good, right? We have Jinx. We have Yasuo. We don't really have the best comp, but the champions in themselves do outscale the enemy. Jinx outscales Caitlyn, Echo outscales Karma, Yasuo outscales Kennen. So in their own right, and even myself outscaling Jarvan, we win late game. So getting a dragon is huge. And finding that little opportunity based off that information, oh, the Caitlyn had to base there, is something that you will change the outcome of the game. This will change, you know, who win. You know, it will give you a chance to win, basically. All right, okay, so my Yasuo is proxying or whatever, dies again. Again, their early game is just insane, right? Probably one of the best early games I've ever seen in a game of League of Legends. Probably not the best I've ever seen, but it's pretty good, right? So we don't look for anything. We just simply base after Krogs, and we're going back to our bot side camps. So keeping really track of your tempo and not trying to do anything, I cannot stress in a losing game, don't force something that isn't there. Okay, and you're going to see me make that mistake, I think, in this next round, which is my one and only death, I think. So again here, right, I have nothing to do. My wolves are not spawned yet, so my tempo was pretty good here. Right? We're kind of assuming now that enemy is going for grubs. Rel is showing top, so new information. And this is kind of the first fundamental, which is, you know, match or trade. You may have heard this before. If you cannot match, which would be fighting this, you need to look to trade, right? And what can we trade on the bot side? Rel is showing top. So in this situation, this is a really game-breaking play where you give the grubs and you dive the Caitlyn. All right, so match or trade? We can't match. We're looking to trade. What can we trade? We're looking for camps. Okay, Caitlyn's alone here. Let's go and dive Caitlyn. So that's the play that we look for. And even though the result was bad, because the enemy team actually played even better than us, they actually matched our trade, which was pretty insane. I won't lie, in the game when I actually saw it, right? But the concept is still correct. I will say, right? Enemy just made it even more insane play. Okay, so we couldn't do anything here. So you know, we're trying to back out now. It's an absolute disaster. I even greed for these Krogs. Probably not worth using my ult. So again, another a disaster. Okay, but what do? Instantly, right? Instantly, I see that this is absolutely doomed. And again, I'm looking to trade. I'm looking to do with the best that I can. I know that Karma is here now, so I take the mid wave. So accept, you know, play with the hand you've been dealt. Don't try and overcompensate bot. Don't try and be the hero here. And of course you should watch, and if you can be the hero, you should, right? Just trade. So we trade again. Boom. And then this is my one mistake. Well, not my one mistake, but this was my one death. And this is where I'm trying to find out when that opportunity to make a play is. And it wasn't that. It just was not that. I didn't have ult. So yeah, here, I should have just gone. I should have just farmed my Krugs. I should have just farmed my Raptors. I should have just farm. I got another one. Grub. So it was already pretty good, right? Again, look at the game state right now. Like how many of you guys would just think, okay, game's over here. So you got to have that never give up mentality as well if you want to win these games. Okay, so skipping ahead now. Fast forward. Okay, we're playing for the next round. Jarvan and Karma are top. So immediately here, right out of this round, I literally walk past all of my camps. And sometimes, guys, you need to look at the game as we see in this spectator. You got to look at the game like this sometimes when you're running out of base. You got to look at the big picture. You got to look at that bird's eye view. Okay, it is what it is. Jarvan gets this. Again, Rel is showing top. So you got to trade something. You got to punch back, right? When they make this play on Yasuo, when Yasuo is, when your team is quote unquote inting, use that as a distraction. Okay, now we have another dragon. Insane. Good. Gives us even more time. Gives us even more time to scale. Gives us even more time in this game. And this time, I kind of knew that they were going to match us diving Caitlyn. So I'm trying to backping my team here. And I think this is where my team kind of lost their minds. I'm full backpinging. I know that they're going to be here. Here they are. Same play again. Countered. I learned from my mistake. My bot lane obviously didn't. Again, the game becomes even more, it's looking pretty lost again. So we don't overcompensate. We let the tower fall. We don't try and defend this. We don't try and do anything that is not possible. So we just clear up. Making sure that, so even though like I'm 0-1, and I know I don't have the greatest CS lead in the world, right? It's only 30. But this 30 CS lead, just being in a good kind of condition in the game, right? If I had made a lot of compensations this game, yes, it would have been lost 100%. Because as you're going to see, kind of the second part of this video is now when you do have that good kind of condition, right? You can start picking up on enemies' mistakes and you can start capitalizing off them. Whereas you wouldn't have been able to do that if you were in a weaker state in the game. Okay, so another round where I'm giving, right? So this same fundamental again, match or trade. Not feeling confident about this. There's no need for us to fight this. So I'm immediately going onto the bot side and looking to catch the person that catches this wave. So we're looking to trade again. I'm telling you guys, if you make these kinds of plays, you will start to realize that you're winning these games now. Okay, so Kennen makes a mistake, right? Enemy team's not going to play perfectly. Yasuo is doing, Echo is doing this weird thing where he's again being a distraction, right? Whatever, ignore this. Ignore your team doing this kind of thing. Look at this, tier 2 tower. Tier 2 towers are so OP, right? And we're actually only we're only 700 gold down. We actually might be up gold here. We're actually up gold after this play. So after this Kennen kill, after this tower, we're actually up gold and the score is 14-6. You guys also have to remember KDA or just kills does not mean everything. We actually have like this tower, this tower, this tower, and they only have one tower. We actually have 2 more towers than them. So you got to remember that too, right? The kill score does not mean everything. My entire team is also up CS. So anyway, right? It still is obviously in a losing position. But because we took those 2 dragons, that's why it looks winnable. All right. So we're trying to defend mid, right? We don't go for it. We don't overcompensate. I'm backpinging my team here. All right, Soraka gets caught. Hey, it is what it is. Unlucky. Unlucky. I'm still backing my team here. I still know this is terrible. So when your team makes int plays, you do not need to follow them into death, okay? They're going to flame you. They're going to say 0 KP jungler. But then what you're going to do is you're going to carry the game later, okay? And trust yourself to do that. Very important. So, I was trying to get a little bit creative here. I really didn't need to fight this dragon. I thought they might go topside. And so I just base here. Again, I'm not trying to steal the dragon or anything like that. I probably could have. I didn't really have a ward though to do that. So wasn't really possible. And now we get into the actual round where we win the game. Okay. And this has a lot to do with this, with this new buff, Atakan, right? New monster, new boss fight. And again, right, team's getting caught. But the thing about this guy is this guy does a lot of damage. So if the enemy team or whoever starts it kind of gets owned by it, they kind of lose all their health here. Okay. So when someone is on this buff, you should try and fight. Okay. So in this case, I'm not, because I thought, okay, well, doesn't look like it. But then I kind of realized, oh, they've only just started it. I think we got some vision here or something. Okay, they still haven't started it. So making sure that you keep farming as well. But here we go. This is where the game changes. Remember, keep farming, right? Keep farming, keep farming, keep farming. Even though, take a look at the scoreboard right now, right? I'm waiting for my time to strike. And so this is it here. So this happens. They still get it. So I'm not even playing the steal. But here we go. Right? I find my opportunity. To do something. And this is where your micro and your mechanics and your team fighting needs to shine. Yeah. You're not going to win these games, if you don't execute properly. But this is something that you can definitely do as well on whatever champion that you're really good at. Right? Know what your champion wants to do. In my case, Viego really wants to play for a reset. He wants to play front to back. So I know how to team fight now. And now I'm really confident about winning this game, right? I'm really, really confident about winning this game. Whenever you win a fight like this, remember to farm all the enemy camps before your own, okay? This is something I see a mistake happen too much where, we win this fight, but then we default back to our jungle. Look for their camps. Look to punish them even further. All right, so fast forwarding now to the next play. I think this Viego also, just to quickly note, I think this Viego build is like the best thing in the game. Even though I'm versing 2 tanks this game, I still think this build is just too insane. I think Collector Triforce is the best. I think it's the best build, even if I verse 2 tanks. Okay, so again here, right? Before we look at the fight, Karma is bot. So this was all about numbers check, right? My Yasuo was actually calling the fight here. So this is all about numbers check, right? Karma is bot. My Echo starts TPing in. Karma did have TP as well, but my Echo TP is coming first. And even though I want to play front to back here, we get a little bit creative. We find the Caitlyn. They're all out of sorts. And we carry again. So constantly in this game, it's about discipline. It's about holding your composure. It's about waiting, again, for that time to strike, despite your team all just, losing their minds. All right? So, we do some Viego things here. We chase. We're confident about this fight. Now I actually am playing front to back. I'm looking for a reset. We end up chasing them all down. Karma ends up also losing her mind because she doesn't realize she doesn't have a tower here. And another one fight. All right, and now the enemy team are like, hang on a second. I think we lost this game because now we have this third dragon as well. And so yeah, we got the third dragon. Now we're in control of the game. Everything just flips around, and just like that, I bet you guys have lost games as well. On the other hand, I bet you've lost games being the winning team, just the same way. So it is important. I know League is a frustrating game, but it's important to kind of never give up. And so as we close things out, another fight happens. Again, this was due to numbers, right? Kennen is showing top. My Yasuo has TP bot, so we're confident about this fight. We're trying to get Baron and Vision now. We feel like we're in control of the game. And even though my comp is so bad, I'm like frontlining for my team. My team is kind of scaled now, right? My Soraka is actually kind of scaled. She's kind of more useful than the Rel now. So a little bit of champion knowledge as well. A little bit of knowing, okay, I have that Kayle or I have Kassadin. Let's just weather the storm until something good can happen. Right? And I think a lot of, not just myself, not just junglers, but laners can also learn something from this as well. All right. Win this fight, we get Baron, and when you have Baron, so, just quickly closing games out, you want to skip all your camps again, and you want to go straight to pushing waves. And this is just a little bit about where this build really shines. This Karma just gets absolutely one shot. Absolutely one shot. I don't even have IE. So yeah, we win the game. So, obviously, again, like I said in the intro, we're not going to win every single one of these games. However, you can win 5 out of 10 of them if you do these match or trade fundamentals, if you mute all and not be influenced, if you don't overcompensate, if you don't try and win too hard, and if then you can kind of strut your stuff in a team fight and play really well, waiting for your time to strike, you can win these games. And I think these type of games are really, really important to win. Because, as I said, you can win 50% of them. And so yeah, that's gonna wrap things up for this video. This was just gonna be a quick little review about playing from behind. I know I've been asked this kind of thing a lot. So yeah, there it is. Hopefully you guys have learned something from this, able to apply it in your own games. Leave it in comments below, and I hope to see you guys all in the next review.